this is Steel Table Talk and I'm Kavya. This is the second video in the ICSE Drama series covering the second part of Act 1, Scene 1 of The Merchant of Venice by William Shakespeare. This video contains everything from the broadest concepts to the minutest details that you require to write the perfect answers. So keep watching and stay tuned for more. So, a brief background of what we've covered so far. Antonio, Salerno and Selenio, the three friends, are walking on a street in Venice, discussing the possible reasons for Antonio's mysterious sadness. So far, Selenio and Salerno have suggested that Antonio is sad because of his concern over his business ventures at sea, and this next speech of Salerno reiterates it. So, Salerno says, "My wind, cooling my broth, would blow me to an egg, when I thought what harm a wind too great at sea might do." So, now this particular dialogue is important because it forms a classic question in the exams in the name of three things. What are the three things that would remind Salerno of his ship? So, these three things are as under. One, the excerpt which we just read out, his breath when he blows to cool his soup would remind him of what a damage the mighty stormy winds at sea could do to his ships, and he would be concerned about his business ventures as ships. Number two, I should not see the sandy hourglass run, but I should think of shallows and of flats, and see my wealthy Andrew docked in sand, wailing her high top lower than her ribs, to kiss her burial. So this is the second thing, paraphrased as, seeing the sand in an hourglass would remind him, Salerno, of the shallow waters, sandbanks and quicksands where his ship could get stuck and hence wrecked during a storm. This invokes the image of his wealthy Andrew. Now what is wealthy Andrew? Andrew is a common name for a ship, and wealthy because obviously Antonio's ventures are rich and valuable. So that ship stuck in sand with her mast drooping lower than the sides. Now the image is like in a pirate movie. A ship is wrecked, the mast, which is a pole-like structure, is broken from the middle and it is tilting at an angle, resting against the sides or the ribs of the ship, main body of the ship. Now these are the two things. Third thing, should I go to church and see the holy edifice of stone, edifice meaning building, and not bethink me straight of dangerous rocks, which touching but my gentle vessel's side, would scatter all her spices on the stream, and robe the roaring waters with my silks. So the third thing is, when he would go to the church, the holy building of stone. What is the holy building of stone? It is the church itself, and you can also compare it to the altar, which used to be made of stone in that age, would remind him of the big perilous rocks at sea. If one of these rocks were to so much as touch his ships, what would happen? His gentle vessels, his sophisticated ships would break, and their valuable spices would be scattered in the stream, and its rich silks would be spread over the water, that is, enrobed over the water. Now this next line is, and in a word, but even now worth this, and now worth nothing. Now this indicates the momentary nature and the dangers, the perils of his ships in the sea. His ships, which are at this moment as he is speaking or thinking about them, are so valuable, and as soon as they are wrecked or they are spoiled, their value drops to nothing, that is zero. They become worthless. So this danger is the thought that actually worries him, makes him concerned. Thus his next lines, shall I have the thought to think on this, and shall I lack the thought that such a thing bechanced would make me sad? But tell not me, I know Antonio is sad to think upon his merchandise. He adds, is it possible for him to see and think all this, and then not be worried of the danger to his merchandise? Now here there's a word, bechanced. Bechanced means by any chance, by the most unfortunate of circumstances. So he says, thus he justifies Antonio's mysterious sadness to be caused by concern over his business enterprises. And this here is the end of this particular business enterprises over the sea argument, because the next dialogue, the very next dialogue of Antonio, quashes this argument and puts it to an end. But As we see, there are three important questions formed here of these three speeches of Salerno and Salerno. So first speech of Salerno invokes these questions: how does he describe Antonio's ships? Second speech of Salerno poses the question: how would Salerno spend his time doing things if how would Salerno spend his time if he had business ventures abroad like Antonio? And the third question, this classic one, is Salerno. Alright, the next speech of Antonio, the speech that cancels it all. Believe me, no, I thank my fortune for it. My ventures are not in one bottom trusted, nor to one place, nor is my whole estate upon the fortune of this present year. Therefore, my merchandising makes me not sad. Antonio denies his business to be a reason for his sadness. Now, he gives three reasons for this. This again is a question. Three reasons for this. Number one, all his business enterprises are not put together in one ship. Number two, all his ships are not destined to the same place. Number three, his financial status is not dependent solely on his profits of the present year. Therefore, he is not sad out of concern for his business enterprises. Now, Salerno then puts on a worthless suggestion, sort of worthless, at least in Antonio's eyes. He says, why, then you are in love. Antonio goes on to say, fie, he's denying it and dismissing it as nonsense. Now, next speech of Salerno, a rather lengthy one, but wait until you listen to Graciano. Salerno says, not in love neither. Then let us say you are sad because you are not merry. And 'twere as easy for you to laugh and leap and say you are merry because you are not sad. Salerno now gives a new explanation for Antonio's mysterious sadness. He says that the only reason why Antonio is sad is because he has no valid reason to be happy. It is similar to the condition that it is easy for a man to laugh and jump and be happy when he is not sad. Weird, I know, but it is what it is. So, yeah. Next, now by two-headed Janus, nature hath framed strange fellows in her time. This is important part as questions come here. Who is Janus and Nestor, which will come up later. So now by two-headed Janus, nature hath framed strange fellows in her time. Some that will evermore peep through their eyes and laugh like parrots at a bagpiper, and other of such vinegar aspect that they'll not show their teeth in a way of smile, though Nestor swear the jest be laughable. He swears, Salerno swears in the name of Janus, that there are two types of people. One who would laugh at any silly thing, just as parrot laughs at a bagpiper. Now, the image invoked here is some that will evermore peep through their eyes. Imagine someone laughing so hard, his face becomes all distorted and wrinkled, and it seems like he is peeping through his eyes. His eyes are reduced to slits, and you are peeping through the eyes. So that is the image that Shakespeare has tried to invoke here. And laugh at parrots at a bagpiper is just a silly expression. Like parrots will laugh at any funny thing, any distantly funny thing. And the other is of such vinegar aspect. Vinegar aspect means sour or serious expression. Some people would adorn such a serious expression on their face that they will not laugh even if Nestor swore that the joke was funny. Now, there are two references here. One is Janus. Now, Janus references, he was a Roman god of doors. He is an ancient Roman god of doors who is two-faced. He has two faces, one facing inwards, other facing outwards. Thought to be symbolic of the possibilities in life, of crossroads and stuff. So one of his faces is smiling and the other is frowning. Hence the reference. So he has been referred to here to indicate the two different kinds of people in nature. One, the sad kind, and one, the happy kind. Now, how will question related to this be asked? The question will be, who is Janus? Why has he been referred to here? So your answer will consist of two parts. One, explaining who is Janus, and second, the appropriateness of his reference here, applicability of the context. Now next, you will also have to proceed this explanation by Salerno uses his reference to explain to Antonio that there are two kinds of people. One who will always smile and laugh even at the silliest of things, and the other who will not laugh even at the funniest of circumstances. Now, second reference here is of Nestor. Nestor was an old and wise Greek general who fought in the Trojan War. Right? A joke had to be extremely funny for Nestor to laugh at it. So, yeah, that is the extent of the person we're dealing with here. And these people, it is said, they will not laugh even if Nestor thought it was funny. Right? Thus, the sour expression and always sad mood explained. So, that's that. After this expression, after this dialogue, what happens is Bassanio, Lorenzo and Griciano also enter and join these people. So Salenio and Salerno think it is a good time to stop making guesses and take their leave. They're good guests, they take their leave when it is appropriate. So Salenio says, "Here comes Bassanio, your most noble kinsman. Griciano and Lorenzo, fare you well. We leave you now with better company." Now kinsman, the word probably means friend or companion. However, it is a word not an actual use in that time even. So Salenio takes his leave. Salerno adds to it, "I would have stayed till I made you merry, if worthier friends had not prevented me." I would have stayed till you would have got rid of your sadness, but better people have come to rid me of these duties, and they will do this work better than I will. Antonio says, "I know you are doing all these formalities, but there is no need." So he says, "Your worth is very dear in my regard." Reference to, he says, if worthier friends. So he says, your worth is very dear. Your value is very high in my estimation. I take it, I understand your own business calls on you, and you embrace the occasion to depart. Salerno says, "Good morrow, my good lords." Now, the BLNG party has already come, and he says, "Good morning, my good lords." Bassanio says, "Good signors both, when shall we laugh? Say when, you grow exceedingly strange, must it be so?" So he says that when shall we laugh? Laughing here refers to celebrating, drinking, partying, being merry. So he says, "You are growing strangers to me, I rarely see you. Why does it have to be like that? Tell me, when can we party and be together?" Salerno says, "We'll make our leisures to attend on yours." The picture of civility, Salerno. So with this, Salenio and Salerno exit the scene. Next is Lorenzo, Bassanio, Griciano and Antonio's conversations, which will come in the next video. And that's it for one sitting. The next parts will be covered in the upcoming videos. Drop a like, hit subscribe, turn on notifications to stay informed of the next video, which will be up shortly. Stay strong, stay safe, keep faith. See ya.